Hello, this is Harley Gibson. This is my business plan model speech outline for professional speaking. The topic that I decided to do it on is a Czech-owned community-based cafe called Redbirds. It's actually named after my dog Redbird, who passed away 2 weeks ago, right after I was done writing this. So now it would be, if this were to be a real cafe, it would be in his memory. My thesis is as follows. Redbirds Cafe is a Czech-owned bakery designated to meet the community's need for a welcoming third place while also ensuring profitability through different streams of revenue. Now imagine a nice and cozy place to sit that offers fresh Czech pastries, a welcoming third place that feels like a home away from home. But why does this matter? So many Americans today lack an affordable third place to socialize outside of just home and work. Third place used to be something that most people in America had, somewhere else that you could go that wasn't just work and home. Why am I credible to run a cafe? Well, I have years of culinary experience under my belt that include formal classes, hands-on baking, and even selling at events. I've lived in multiple different states through my time in the service, and throughout those different states, a small fun thing I would do was take baking classes at different locations, French baking classes, British, even Irish baking classes. Pretty much every culture has different baked goods. It's very interesting, very diverse, and it's very funny how so many of them converge into similar things. I'm especially well versed in Czech pastries, as my grandparents from the old country taught me hands-on. So kolaches will obviously be a main dish at Redbird's Cafe. Also, as an aside, my dog Redbird loved kolaches. I would get him cream cheese ones, so that's nice. My thesis is that Redbirds will strengthen the community by providing comfort, culture, and most importantly, to me at least, connection. A preview of what I will be going over in this. A community's need for a third place, Redbird's profitability model, and the community impact and ethics of Redbird's Cafe. Let's begin by looking at why communities are in desperate need of a third place like Redbird's Cafe. The need for a third place in the community. Third places are essential for a community as they provide it with another space to relax, and they often end up spending money while there. Think of most sitcoms you know of. The characters often have a bar or restaurant they spend their time at together. That has slowly disappeared in this newer generation. It's just not as affordable anymore, and people have become a lot more isolated, especially after COVID. Modern communities lack such spaces, especially younger adults seeking safe, affordable gathering environments. This is a quote from Leos Jeffers from ResearchGate.net on the impact of third places on community quality of life. Redbirds Cafe will provide a welcoming and comfortable environment for students, remote workers, and even families to hang out or even do work at. We will have separate spaces where people could do work. I know that's something I definitely needed at some point when I was in the service, and I lived in the barracks for 2 years. My roommate was on an opposite work shift than me most of the time, but I had homework to do, or I just wanted to not be in the dark quiet the entire time, so I would go to Rick's Cafe, a cafe right up the road that was so convenient. And they had a sectioned off area where I could do my schoolwork, do what needed to be done. I did not need to spend a lot of money. Lots of times I would just buy a $2 tea, tip my waitress, and sit there for 3 hours working, and it wouldn't bother them any. I became a regular. I would sit down and they'd just bring me my tea. That's the kind of place Redbirds would be. Redbirds Cafe will remain profitable over a long-term period. By having multiple streams of revenue, this will ensure long-term profitability. Redbirds will offer dine-in, takeout, drive-through catering, and even online ordering. Food businesses with more than one stream of revenue tend to have stronger finances as it gives them more to fall back on. This is true. Think of COVID times, how many places had to close down, how many people lost their businesses because they couldn't afford to keep up with the lack of supply and demand. but think of how many people were still in need of food at home. Places, things like Uber Eats, their profits went up as these local businesses were closing down. So my local business would take a bit, steal a little from their profit model. Offer multiple ways to get your food. If another COVID happens, God forbid, we have to close down the dine-in, still got takeout, still got delivery, still got all these other options. So hopefully we would not be losing as many customers as we think we might. Now, a way that we would be marketing would be through the local newspaper ads and local billboards. Even the smallest town nowadays has a billboard. So I could do local billboards. I could do local newspaper ads, like $5 to put an ad in my local paper. That's pretty good. And I could even sponsor local sports teams. The school that I work at as a substitute, the sports teams all have information of businesses on the backs of their shirts. And I believe last I checked, it was about $500 to advertise on that. And the kids are wearing it year round. They see it constantly. You could also send through your local post office. You could send out coupons. It doesn't really cost anything except to print. So coupons definitely bring in a crowd. That's another thing with the affordability aspect. Beyond profits, Redbirds Cafe has a commitment to the community to strengthen investors' confidence. Ethical business practice build brand loyalty. People like to know that their money's not going to nonsense. Consumers increasingly choose business that demonstrates social responsibility to their communities, according to Lois Moore on a Journal of Consumer Affairs that I have quoted in my paper. Redbirds will donate unsold goods to my local food bank, reinforcing its value to the community. So everybody knows my food, it's not going to waste. I'm not a wasteful person. Redbirds Cafe will offer an environment that attracts a diverse demographic of people, especially the younger generations. Like I said, it's these older generations that are very good at keeping and establishing community. I'd like younger generations to get more involved with each other. Now that we've reviewed the main points, let's conclude. To review my talking points, we went over the need for a third place, my profitability model, and Redbirds community ethics. Redbirds Cafe creates comfort, community, and also long-term value for investors. A cozy and welcoming bakery can become the heart of a community. Redbirds Cafe is more than just a small-town bakery. It's a space where the community can all come together. Now, please, investors, help and join us in building a community-centered small business. Invest in Redbirds Cafe. Thank you.